Hello, Running Lab. Welcome to week 3 of strength training. Today we're going to use dumbbells. You can modify with kettlebells, a bar, whatever you have. We're going to learn some new moves today. Again, for a review, if you are experienced with weightlifting and running mileage, then you can go ahead to choose a weight that is challenging for 6 to 8 reps. Where you actually need a break after those 6 to 8 reps. And if you're really new to weightlifting, it's okay to do these at body weight or lower rate with higher reps. So you can be into the 10 to 12 rep range for your exercises today. Just like last week, we're going to start with a warm-up to get our muscles ready. So we're going to do some walkouts, do some inchworm walkouts. These get our lower back and hamstrings and calf muscles ready for the workout. I ran with all of you guys at Kensington yesterday, if you went to the Saturday morning run. And definitely had some new muscles that were sore. Let's do our half kneel reaches, a little bit of hip flexor work. Those were definitely sore after yesterday because we had to lift our knees up a little bit more with the slush, being aware of our footing. Okay. And all of our stabilizer muscles, I'm sure, and muscles that don't normally stabilize, like our hamstrings, are probably a little sore today as well. So that's why we're going to do some pumps on our hamstring. This is more like a nerve floss. Just go back and forth with your ankle in this position, and you can alternate between those and coming back into your hip flexor active stretch there. Okay, let's switch sides. Our other hip flexor. I hope you all had some trail shoes or spikes ready for that path that can help us save our muscles from the slipping and sliding motions. Okay, let's go again into our nerve pump. I'm a little more mobile than when you saw me last week. So hopefully my demonstrations are better today. Okay, good. All right, so we will use those as our warm-up. Let's go ahead and grab our dumbbells for our first one. You're also going to need an object like a chair, a bench, or I'll be using a small box today. If not, you can use a coffee table, just anything that's a little bit larger for a step. Our first exercise is going to be the Bulgarian split squat. You're going to have your foot back on a chair or a bench or a step, whatever you chose. One foot in front of you, and then we're going to go down into our split squat. So a split squat obviously really mimics our stride in our running form. We are strengthening our quadriceps, hamstrings, glute muscles with this. But also you can see my arch muscles, foot and ankle muscles are working to stabilize more since this is a single leg exercise. I'm going to go right back and forth in between each side. This one I'll demonstrate on the side view. So you can have your foot on the back flat with your toes pointed or your toes hooked in. I like the toes hooked in because I get a little arch stretch in my foot as well and some big toe mobility, which is very important. I want you to go just at first without overthinking it, whatever front foot placement was natural to you. And then on our next one, I will tell you some variations that you can do. Good. So with that one, I was putting weight on the front of my heel to get a little bit more glute activation. If you feel like you're really, really gripping with your toes, try to shift weight back on the heel a little bit. Okay, so on this one, I will talk about how to change this up for different muscle usage. So if you want to step out further and have a wider split stance, then that would give a little more work to your quadricep muscle, especially closer to the kneecap area. You would feel that more. Or you could step back closer and have that weight on your heel for a little more glute and hamstring work. So it depends on what you're trying to focus. Sometimes I just do both to have more variety. Okay, last set here. Good. Go ahead and grab a drink, take a break, press pause if you need more time to finish up your sets. For our next exercise, we're going to still use that chair or box or bench that you have. And you're going to lie down on the floor. Your feet up on the box. This is going to be a very hamstring dominant exercise, just with body weight today to start. Okay, so your heels are going to be up on the box, and then you're going to have a strong squeeze in the front of your thighs as you lift up into a straight leg bridge. So you can have your hands down by your side if you want. What we're looking for is keeping a nice even pelvis. We're going for control with this one, so you don't want to be rocking or overly using your back and like losing your core like that to push up with momentum. So we just want to use control, really dig your heels into the box and then lift yourself up. All right, take a little break. Shake out those hamstrings. This is actually one that I use as a test to see if someone's having the onset of a hamstring issue, like a hamstring tendonitis. So if this is painful to you, then feel free to reach out, or you can get a lacrosse ball, sit on that, put the pressure into your hamstring as you're sitting on a chair and try to glide back and forth, or do more of those warm-ups that we did for the hamstring. Come back to this exercise and then see if that is improved. Of course, there are always ways to make things harder. So I will show those on our next set. I'm definitely not counting on these, but since this is a body weight exercise, we can do 10 reps. You could do a lot of reps of this to fatigue. Okay, so the variation, of course, would be to put this as a single leg exercise to make it more of a challenge. So if you want to go ahead and try that, if the other one was pretty simple, you can bring up one knee towards your chest. This one, you're going to really have to dig in to get that control first before you lift. And then this one will be more apparent if your pelvis is rocking and you're losing that nice level pelvis. So you can see I'm not going for speed with these, just more for control with a slow lowering. Okay, you can switch sides. If you're doing single leg, if you're doing double leg, feel free to do another set. The single leg is good, at least to test out, because then you can tell if one side is different than the other. Ooh, those are spicy. All right, take a break. My hamstrings did not like sitting in bleachers all weekend for 2 days of swim competition for my son. So I definitely had to come home and stretch those out, which I normally don't have to do on a regular basis, but today definitely. Sitting is our enemy sometimes. Not good for the body to sit in bleachers that long. You gotta do what you gotta do as a parent though. Okay, so our next one, we're gonna get our dumbbells back. I'm gonna show this first on the floor, and then we can use our box again for a modification. Okay, so you're gonna have your weights up by your chest. We're gonna do a chest press with a bridge hold. So a little more bang for your buck with your upper body exercise, because we're gonna throw the core into it. So you're gonna go up into a bridge position, and then bring the weights down until your elbows touch the floor. Nice and slow and controlled with this one as well. Okay, we're gonna come back down, take a break. If you wanted to use a box, you can grab that box. That will just add a little bit more of a stability challenge for the core, but also some more work on your hamstrings, holding that isometric hold. Isometric holds mean that the muscle is activated, but it is not shortening as it contracts. That's actually a good way to make the muscle happy. It likes to do isometric holds to strengthen tendons, but also to help it reduce its want to hang on like a gripping type of tension. So if you hold isometrically, it can help relax the muscle. We were also holding an isometric hold on the floor. Like I said, just the box is a variation to add in more stability work for the core. Okay, let's go into our last set. We're going to lift up. Good. Our next exercise is called the gorilla row. This is actually one of my favorite exercises because it will make you sneaky sore in muscles that you didn't realize that you were using. We're going to be down holding an isometric squat as we alternate the dumbbells back and forth. So let's warm up real quick, just to get into our hips a little bit more. Let's loosen up our squat with 10 reps here. Okay, good. All right, so we're gonna go deep like a gorilla into our squat. The dumbbells are in between your feet here. You're gonna hold that deep squat position as you row back and forth. And your quadriceps will immediately be on fire. Okay, so where that one will make you sneaky sore tomorrow is in your latissimus dorsi muscle. It's a large muscle from your pelvis all the way up to your shoulder. It's an important muscle to help support us in our running, but also to help extend the shoulder in our running form. It's being used in this exercise a little bit more because it's getting stretched while shortened due to the squat position. That one's hard to talk through. So sorry, I have to bore you with a little silence. Let me show you from a side view on the next one. Okay, so side view, deep into the squat. This one we are staying flat with our back. Try to watch out for toe gripping, or if your foot or arch are doing something funny. You can see that I try to do weightlifting sessions barefoot. If you can't do that in the gym, a very, very minimalist shoe helps so that we get the most benefit out of using our arch muscles. If you're not in a high stack shoe, it also helps to make sure that you're not overly wobbly and injuring your shin muscles. So not all running shoes are weightlifting shoes. I think I know some good people that can help you out with that. Okay, last set. Go down into our squat. I think if someone was feeling a balance challenge with that one, what I would commonly see is that their toes are lifting up or their toes are gripping. So just something to look out for if you deal with things like plantar fasciitis or shin splints. Our last exercise for this week is going to be a wood chopper. So it's our last exercise with the dumbbell. And then we're going to do some dead bugs to fatigue to get our core really firing at the end. Okay, so you're going to have one leg forward, hold the weight on its sides. A plate works well for this, or a weighted ball if you have that as well. So you're going to hold the weight, and then you're reaching up into the opposite corner, like you're chopping something. This would be very bad actual wood chopping form, I'm sure. It's a good one to work out that stiffness in your spine like we've been talking about. Our tight spots in our thoracic spine, which my thoracic spine is especially sore from all that bleacher sitting. We were crammed in the bleachers at the Brighton pool this weekend. So no matter how hard I tried, I could not have ideal posture. Super apologize if you can hear my shoulders cracking, my spine cracking. That's what happens when you sit in a hunched position. So good thing I'm doing these with you guys. Okay, definitely to work out some of that stiffness in my shoulders. A little too poppy for my liking. This will be fun to edit later, see how much this little microphone picked up of my shoulders cracking. All right, let's do another set on each side. Whew, got wobbly on that one. Yet another good exercise to anchor your big toe down, your pinky toe, and your heel, and then perform an arch dome. What's an arch dome, Lauren? Okay, let's show a side view of the arch dome. So pinky toe, big toe, if you press those into the ground, you'll feel some of your foot muscles activate. But beyond that, you can try to press them down even more to lift up the center of your foot. That will help my front knee become more stable if I am anchored with a strong foundation into the ground. Okay, good. All right. I swear this is the last exercise. We are going to do dead bugs until we can't do a dead bug anymore. Okay, so this is going to be an AMRAP. So this is as many reps as possible. Let's do this for a minute. We're going to start in a few seconds. I'm going to demo. So you're going to do opposite arm and leg extended. We're going to go back and forth. You can do head lifted if you are able, head down if it's a little bit too much for your neck, or take breaks when needed for your neck. Ready, set, go. We're going to do this for a minute. Anytime you need to take a break, that's okay, but then you want to get right back into it since this is an AMRAP set. Ah! I got my arms and legs all mixed up there. It's hard to talk and focus on the exercise at the same time. "20 more seconds. This is that pain that you're going to channel towards the end of your 5K, half, marathon, 10K, whatever you're doing. This is that pain you're going to channel and say, I can do hard things. 3, 2, 1. Good. Whew. All right. My neck definitely needs a stretch for that. And we worked our lats a little bit today as well. So we're going to go into a lat stretch to finish. A little child's pose, if you want to call it, as well. Trying to breathe into anywhere that feels tight or stiff. You can let your head hang down if you need more of a stretch and you can tolerate that. Our serratus muscles are involved in breathing, but they also help a runner move their shoulder blades and help support our ribs and thoracic spine when they are breathing. So if you feel stiffness in between your ribs, sometimes it can be those serratus muscles as well. Okay, let's try a variation on this. We're going to reach to the upper left. If you can't get your butt all the way down to your heels, that means that you have a tighter lat, which could affect some shoulder pain or low back pain. So that's a good goal, so you get your hip mobility in sync with your lat mobility and get your heels as far as you can down towards your behind, or your behind to your heels. It was a long weekend. Did I say that? Did I say I was in the bleachers all weekend? Mine's a little hazy. Okay, All right. Thank you, everybody, for strength training with me this week. You motivated me to get down in my basement and do a little bit extra this week when I thought I couldn't. So look at you helping me as I help you. Keep up the good work and stay motivated. Happy Monday.